Yes, sporting another one of my very colourful shirts. Welcome along.
From the Mirrorball studio in Royal Berkshire, this is Chris Reardon.
Hello, boys and girls. Welcome along. Another new shirt, a very bright one today, if I can describe. Then people listening at the moment, it's very orange. I'm feeling in a very orange mood today for some reason. I like the smell of oranges, don't you? Oh, there's nothing about it. You know what? Mum used to sit there on the settee when we all lived in Roehampton, and she would sit there every night with the orange, and the entire house was filled with the aroma of the orange. How beautiful. Welcome along. It's Chris Reardon with you, United Kingdom Talk. Now, I just scratched my ear then, and I'm starting to wonder now, because we've had a couple of people email over the last few weeks, or indeed a couple of months now. I can't believe we've been doing the video thing for a couple of months now, who have mentioned on occasions that I sort of scratch myself or prod my ear or rub my nose. Now, I'm pretty sure that Matt in London didn't actually see me pick my nose. I don't pick my nose. I think that's a horrible thing. You see them in the cars, especially in cars, don't you? You know when you're at traffic lights and you look over and it's vile, and there's someone picking their nose. I honestly don't know. I don't even do it at home. There's something very awful with people sticking fingers up their nose and pulling bits out. Oh, it's awful. Get a tissue and blow it like me. Or you know what? I haven't got with me today a tissue, which is okay at the moment because my nose is... Listen, no problem at all today. Why is that? But if it does get bad, I have got this old tea towel next to me. So don't worry about that. No, please, it's not dirty. It all goes in the wash, dear. With the bed things and what have you, doesn't it, eh? It all goes in the wash. What's your washing day? Mine is Saturday, usually. Yes, today, yes. My washing day is Saturday, usually. And they all go in along with the bedclothes. Every week, those bedclothes get washed because we don't want bed bugs, do we? There was recently this programme on the telly about bed bugs here in the UK. Did anyone see that? Oh, it's vile. Oh, it's awful. And these little things, people keep waking up and they've got bites on them. And they can't understand when they're coming. And they go round these people, you know, and look, and they find bed bugs. Horrible things. Mind you, I mean, do you think bed bugs are getting a bad press? I mean, they've got to eat, haven't they? Same as the rest of us. They've got to eat. And if it means having a few little bites up and down your legs or on your arms, so be it. They are all God's creatures, aren't they? Bed bugs. Now, there's an email address to the show. If you want to join in at any time, it's chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Now, as I say, I'm wearing a rather orange stripy shirt today. This is another one of those that I bought from that shop in Slovakia. I think I told you a couple of weeks ago, or it might have been the last show, actually. Did I have another stripy shirt on the last show? That came from Slovakia as well in 2000 and... Oh, where was I there? 876. I think 2005 or 2004 went to Slovakia for the opening of a big radio station there, RTI. A warm welcome along if you're listening via there. And while we were there, we had a bit of a day off. I think it was the Sunday, actually. We went shopping on the Sunday because there was not a lot to do. And, of course, there were hardly any shops open, if I remember rightly, except for this sports shop. And myself and two friends, I think Mandy and her boyfriend, and was that all? I think there was someone else as well. And we went into this shop. Sorry, I just banged the microphone there. Went into this shop, sports shop, thinking we might pick up a couple of bargains because things are relatively cheap. Well, I say relatively, much cheaper in Slovakia than they are here in the UK. So I thought I'd pick up a couple of items in the sports shop. And indeed, I bought two shirts. And this is the other. I had the other one on the other day, which was a little bit more grey, wasn't it? And this one is lovely and orange and ever so bright. And as I say, it's a few years old. I think I paid only £20 for this, $40, which is a bargain, isn't it? But you see, you have to know where to shop. Now, this seemed to me to be a particularly well looked after sports shop. Okay, probably not the cheapest one there. Although it was very cheap for me, I've no doubt in my mind if I looked around a bit, probably find somewhere even cheaper. Now, last time I went to New York, I made a big mistake. Now, it's all very well saying, people saying, oh, it's much cheaper in New York. Well, yes, it is. If you don't go to the big, posh department stores in the centre of Manhattan. All right, because that's the mistake I made last time. And I know I made the mistake because on other occasions where I've been to Florida, and I've gone shopping in the various outlets, and even the Maus, the Orange Mau, isn't it? That's it, the Orange Mau in Florida, which is, I think, either near or in Orlando. That was reasonably cheap, and I went out there and I bought loads of things, loads of clothes and this, that, and the other. In Slovakia, easier to find cheap, but probably if I'd looked around a bit longer, then I could find it even cheaper. But I'm not complaining. I mean, this for 20 quid, it's not bad, is it? So that's it. Someone else was saying something. Why don't you try wearing a suit for your show, he says, or a jacket and trousers? Well, number one, I don't, as I said on one of the other shows, I don't usually bother with the bottom half. Because you can't see that. Oh no, I have got something on. I'm not sitting here bottom half naked or anything, but I have literally got a pair of old tracky bottoms on. All right, and but it's just the top half that you see, so that's the only bit I look after, I'm afraid. But jacket and shirt or tie. Yeah, I suppose I could really. I don't actually own a suit, believe it or not. I've got some jacket and trousers that I wore to Mum and Dad's funeral. And for Mum's funeral, I specifically bought a special jacket and trousers and shirt. And that's in the cupboard now, and it's kind of there. And I think I'd like to put that. I'd like that put on me when I go, so I can be buried in that same suit. I've got a feeling it won't fit. I mean, it won't fit now, dear. It won't fit now. And how's the weight going? Oh, is that what you're... Well, 12 stone 4 now. Yeah, and I kind of looked at myself in the mirror this morning, and I'm really not happy. I'm sure I'm sticking out a bit at the front now, you know, where the tummy is. But there you are. I have started doing sit-ups again. Now, for some reason, I can't quite work out why, but I stopped doing those about a year ago. Completely stopped doing. I thought, I can't be bothered doing this anymore. But I've recently... I've only done it 3 times, so there's nothing showing yet. All right? But I have started doing sit-ups again. Around about 20 or 30 in front of the news on the telly or whatever I'm watching at the time. Then you don't have to worry. You know, I don't set a specific day to do them. So the sit-ups have started again. But I'm 12 stone 4 on the digital scales downstairs, which isn't good. Two things here that people have said to me. One from Anthony, my friend Anthony, who says, how big are your portion sizes? I said, I beg your pardon? I mean, what a rude thing to say to someone you barely know, I thought to myself. But he said, how are your portion sizes? I said, well, now that I think about it, like, I do have a large dinner and a large breakfast. He said, well, start there and cut down on the size. So I have done. Even like when I'm cutting a slice of bread, it used to be like half an inch thick. Now it's a quarter of an inch thick. So that's a start, isn't it? Also, this bloke on the telly the other day, I can't remember, I think it was on the Richard and Judy show, which quite often makes me fall asleep, to be honest. Richard and Judy, they are two hosts of a chat show. They used to do a show on ITV called This Morning, which was really good. And they've tried another couple of things, but for me, they don't work. They've got a big fan club, you know, so obviously people like what they do. I find it a little bit dreary, to be honest, the Richard and Judy show. But this bloke was on there, a doctor, the other day, and he reckons you should eat every 2 to 3 hours, little and often, I think is what he said. But does that mean, I mean, little, you see, little could be 1 jam donut, couldn't it? Or 1 bag of cheese and onion crisps, or 1 bar of chocolate. I don't know, I'm quite sure that's probably what he doesn't mean. It probably means a banana or an apple, although Anthony does take it a bit far sometimes. I think he was telling me for lunch he used to have a banana and an apple, but now he only has an apple. I'm not quite sure, Anthony, what sort of difference that might make. But he does go on, my friend Anthony, he goes on, and he rings up, and he says, oh, I can't even see myself in the mirror. I'm so thin now, I'm so thin. Well, do be careful that you don't fall over any drains, because I certainly won't be shoving a line down there trying to rescue you. No, but a little bit over, I think. 13... Well, 1, 2, 3, £5 overweight. I don't know. Oh, well. I mean, why am I worrying? I've done a lot of running this week. I've been jogging 4 times so far. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And I've been swimming Monday to Friday this week. So there's nothing wrong with the exercise. Nothing wrong at all with the exercise. But we're now cutting down on portion sizes, and we're eating little and often. Except maybe for the main meal of the day, which is usually for me, around about 4 o'clock I have my main meal. All right, let's have a look. Now, we've got lots of emails. Anthony also says, like that bloke in Scotland said, in future, in your shows, please send a link if there's anything interesting, otherwise don't bother. What a cheek, dear. You know, you sit here trying to do your best, trying to give people, you know, some sort of smile for their day, and you get comments like that. Thank you very much, Anthony, dear. Well, don't click. I hope your click doesn't work. Yes, Anthony actually suffers from a bad neck and bad shoulders, which he says is due to exercise. Quite frankly, I think it's due to old age. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's all due to old age. I hate to tell you this, you know, but I am telling you to your face, you know, it's old age, dear. I mean, we can't all be... I nearly said bipolar then. We can't all be, you know, bionic like me. I mean, if I can quote what you said to me, Anthony, that you said I was much more resilient to sports injuries. Yeah, well, that's because I'm fitter. It's nothing to do with I forgot what I was going to say now. It's nothing to do with, you know, how your bone is genetic or anything genetic or anything like that, Anthony. Just accept the fact that I am fitter. You may be thinner, but I'm fitter. All right? Thank you. But he does suffer with a bad back and bad shoulders, which has improved recently, fortunately. Now, why on earth did I mention his bad back like that? Oh, the thread's gone now. Thread's gone now. I mean, I told you a couple of weeks ago I had a bad foot and then a bad knee, but they seem to have sorted themselves out. It's horrible, isn't it? You know, when you get something. I hate being ill. Not so much as the fact that I'm ill, but because it stops me doing things. It's a burden to be ill, isn't it? So, one of those things. Anthony, I hope your back gets better, I do. Maybe a little rub down? Little rub down, eh? Would you like that? Yes. Right. New camera. We're on another camera today. We're trying out a new webcam. Now, this is, as recommended by one of our listeners, a Microsoft LifeCam. Now, I've got a little picture of it. Microsoft LifeCam VX7000. Now, this one is automatic focus, automatic light. There's nothing for me to do. The whole thing is automatic, and so far, so good. All right, so once again, it's the Microsoft LifeCam VX7000. Cost me about, I think this one was actually about £50, which is a lot cheaper than the other one I bought. And so far, so good. So we're trying out that one today. Okay, let us know what you think. Usual email address, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Also, I've started getting into... A couple of people have asked me to do sort of voiceovers or show introductions. Now, regular listeners to the show will know I'm a club DJ. I also work with cabaret singers, drag queens, and anything like that. I work with them. And a couple of them have recently asked me to do a kind of new introduction, so that obviously when they're working with me, I do the introduction for them. But sometimes, in some venues, And this is not to put down any other DJs or anything like that. But sometimes, you know, people are good at other things. There are a lot of DJs that don't use a microphone to talk. Now, that's not to say that they're bad. They are music DJs. I myself am kind of an all-rounder. You know, not particularly good at anything at all, really. But other DJs, they will not pick up a microphone. That's just them. That's just what they do. I do use a microphone. And some of these acts, a couple of acts, have asked me to record a show opener for them so that wherever they're working, all they've got to do is give the DJ the CD or mini disc and say, that's my opening, play that before I go on. So I thought I'd let you listen to my little creation. Now, I think I've actually done 2 of them so far. I think I've only got one here in front of me. Now, this is for a cabaret act who works on the island of Gran Canaria, where I've been a couple of times. Beautiful place. Beautiful place. And that's it. She asked for a show opener. See what you think of this. It's very powerful. There's only one way to put on a show, as far as I'm concerned, and that is to make a big bang or a big statement just before you go on. So have a little listen to this. This is a show opener. See what you think. Boys and girls, welcome along to this palladium of entertainment. The pinnacle of your holiday experience is about to begin. It's showtime, all the way from Wales. In 1901, just flown in via Daffodil Airways and Parcel Force. Please welcome Miss Trixie Licks. There you go. What do you think of that then, eh? Little opening there for Mr. They all have funny names like that. Trixie Licks in Gran Canaria. All right. No offence, of course, to the Welsh there. We're doing it a bit. The whole thing is supposed to be, you know, a comedy for people with senses of humour. You know, I mean, don't forget you can say whatever you like to me. I've got a sense of humour. Sometimes we get a couple of emails in about the whole gay thing. You know, I say, I hope you don't mind, Chris, but I found this joke. I hope you do find it funny and not offensive. No, I would please send anything in. Okay, I'm never offended. I have a very high sense of humour. I find most things funny, which is not amusing, really, you know, when you see someone walking past and they have a terrible accident and I stand there just laughing. But that's just me, you see. You've got to have a sense of humour, and I certainly love to laugh at myself. So if you ever feel like sending anything in like that, please feel free to do so. Now, I'm just trying to find... I did do another one for someone, but number 1, I can't remember who it was, and... number 2, I don't think I'm going to find that again. Let me just see if I can find the other one for you. No, that's not it. How do we do this? Arrange by date. That may not be there. I think we've lost that one. One second. Is it here? No. Oh, what a shame. Never mind. Dear Facebook. No, we can't find the other one. But there you go. That's the sort of thing that people are asking me to do now, like little voiceovers like that. And she said to me, how much do you charge? You know, I must be the world's worst business person, because I rarely charge to do little things like that. So if anyone else would like a little voiceover like that, you know, maybe you do a show yourself or something, then do let me know. Usual email address, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, right? chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Always happy to do people favours. Okay, let me see. Was I going to tell you anything else? What's the time? No, let's go to the emails. Otherwise, I should never shut up. Let me just cross these things out that I was just speaking about. Otherwise, I start repeating them again, don't I? Oh, the karaoke. I was just going to tell you the karaoke. We started on Friday nights now as well as the disco every Friday night at the Steam Coach, which is in Boxmoor, Hemel Hempstead in London. And last Friday we started the karaoke as well, and it was a bit slow starting, to be honest. I mean, we do start the night at about 8:30, and I didn't really get anyone to sing until 10:30, when I thought to myself, well, you know, oh, you know, maybe if I sing, people will start singing. And that's all it took. That's all it took. I picked up the microphone and sang, right, here's how it all works. And I sang Tie Yellow Ribbon round the old oak tree. No, it's okay, don't switch off. I'm not going to sing today. Look at Carl. Carl in Yorkshire is now going, phew, thank God he's not going to sing. Aren't you? I know you are, dear. What a liberty. That's what it is. It's a liberty. So I sang Tie Yellow Ribbon. And after that, lots of people came up and sung. Now, let me see. There was Catherine. And there was Vic. There was Johnny. And some good singers. Vic is a very good singer. He's a big guy. I only met him once a week or so ago. Steam Coach, by the way, that's in Boxmoor, as I say, in Hemel Hempstead. Family pub, no children after 7 o'clock in there, OK, if you ever want to come down for karaoke and disco every Friday night, 8:30 to 12. And Vic, he sang, I think he sang, was it Mustang Sally? You know that one? Mustang Sally. I think it was that one. I'm not sure. But he's got a really good voice. Come along and sing us a song. All right? OK. Some emails. Here we go then. First of all, quick one from Ian Scott, known as Scotty, who often tries to help me with technical issues, only to realise that I'm sorry, Ian. You try so hard to help me, but the door on my mind quite often closes when there's a technical issue, especially if it's a technical issue that, although everything's working as it seems to be now, you know, although everything's working, some very kind people, such as yourself, okay, email in and suggest improvements. And I am grateful for that. I really am. But what's happened in the past is, over the years, over quite a number of years, is that you get something going with the computer, and I'm sure, Ian, you've had this as well. You get things working on the computer to a point where you're sort of reasonably happy. As I think I am at the moment. I mean, this new camera, this new little Microsoft one, seems to be pretty good. And I have to say, it installed so easily. I was able to get the whole thing going, literally, loaded in the software, plugged in the camera, hey presto, it worked. Very, very pleased with the ease of what that of how that's set up. And the trouble is, Ian, when lovely people like yourself, and they do make suggestions on how to improve the technical side of things, like the picture. And I think, well, hang on a minute, you know, everything's working to a point at the moment. Do I really want to muck about? Because I've installed stuff before and tried to either update or upgrade, and it throws everything out. I'm sure you know what I mean. Of course, as you do that sort of thing, you do gain more experience. So next time something similar goes wrong, then you kind of know what it is. Now, let me think of something very simple. Yes, I remember the very first webcam I bought, which I think it was a Logitech one, and they've all got their own inbuilt microphones now, webcams, haven't they? Now, when I'm making this program, as indeed all the audio stuff that I do, I like to use, well, I use my expensive microphone here, right? And that all goes through a mixer, which is just behind me. We can show this all here now. Look at that. There you are. Now, if you're watching on the YouTube, you'll be able to see now the front of my picture, or the front of the computer screen. With a look, can you see that green bar going up and down there into the yellow? All right, that's my voice doing that. Watch. If I shut up, it doesn't move, okay? And that basically tells me the sound's going into the computer and everything else. There you see a mixer. Just down there. Okay, there's the mixer. There's an old CD player. An old mini disc player. An old amplifier behind me. Now, and right at the very top there, that's a compressor. Now, what does a compressor do? A compressor makes the sound more level. Now, if I wasn't using that... Oh, I just realised that webcam actually gets warm. Didn't know that. Now, a compressor, for non-technical people, makes the sound level. Otherwise, if I didn't use a compressor, you'd be forever turning the volume up and down all the time. for the quiet bits, and the loud bits you'd be turning it down again. The compressor actually smooths it all out. So, from your point of view, it's a better sort of listening experience. And that's it. Now, all the webcams now, as I say, come with a little microphone, right? I always remember putting the first one in, and I set it all up, and that was it. I thought, oh, that's a good picture, there we go. And then I made a radio show. Now, this was before I had the little flashing green lights, which I just showed you on the screen, which tells me the sound goes in. And when I finished the show, the sound wasn't right. Was it a recorded show? No, it wasn't. It was a live music and chat show. And I got this email from people saying, there's something wrong. We can hear you talking, but we can't hear the music. Now, the music for my shows would come out of the computer, into the mixer you just saw, and then back into it again. And what was happening was that the system was using the microphone on the webcam rather than using my big microphone and the music from the computer through the mixer. So that's why no one could hear the music. And it took me ages to work out on the computer where the different sound settings were. And what had happened is that I'd plugged in the webcam, and then it had automatically switched to the webcam microphone when it was doing recordings, and you had to switch it manually back again. But now I know that. And that does actually happen. Every time you buy a new webcam, you plug the thing in, and it quickly defaults to the microphone on the webcam. Now I know that. So it's all about experience. So Scott, you know, when I do this upgrade and then it goes wrong, it is of course a learning experience, isn't it? Because once you've done it once, then you know. But I'm kind of at the point now where if something's working reasonably well, I tend to leave it alone. And it's so kind of you coming with your suggestions over the last few weeks about things and this and that, and I do appreciate it, but I kind of think to myself, well, reasonably happy with it now, leave it as it is. And Scotty wrote in also about a show a couple of weeks ago and says, Chris, heard your show today, and here you are now a .com. Yes, I am a .com as well as a .co.uk. You can now get to United Kingdom Talk by typing in either unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk or unitedkingdomtalk.com. And I said on the show, do you think we should stick with the .co.uk and shall we stick with the .com? And I had a few emails in that say stick with the .co.uk because you've had it for so long now. But Scotty says, looking for ideas with what to do with your .com. And I did think about it. He said, interested in a new redesign with a content management system to power the site rather than a static HTML site. Now you've lost me already, Scotty. You see, this is, I see words like, it's got to be a mental block, I think. I have a technological mental block. And I keep seeing new stuff coming along, left, right and centre. And I can't handle it. That's the truth of it. I hold on to mobile phones for years. Because I know if I change my mobile phone, that's a whole new system I have to learn. And I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't know what made me like that. Because always as a child I was pulling things apart and wanting to see how things work. Now I don't. I just want to use them. It's like this show. All the technical issues sometimes that I have, I hate it. I just want to come in here, switch on the microphone, turn on the camera, look at it and talk. That's all I want to do, really. But sometimes, and it gets a bit much. So I tend to leave things alone. And now you're saying content management system. I've got no idea what that is. He goes on to say, I need to talk more if you're interested. I use a CMS application for all of my websites now. Excuse me. Makes life a lot easier for maintenance and updating, plus hundreds of cool plugins to take your site from Web 1.0 to the latest Web 2.0 craze. Let me know, and if you're interested, talking more, Scotty. As I say, Scotty, thank you very much for your suggestion, but I'm afraid I'm going to leave it as it is, because it's something else to do, and I haven't got the time. I haven't got the time, and I don't think I really want to learn anymore. I learn things on a needs-to basis. I sort of, you know, I'll teach myself something if I need to do it. And that's about it. Now, everything's kind of working. I've got a website. I know it's not the best website anymore. One thing I can't stand on websites is flash graphics. They really get on my nerves because they all take a while to download. Yeah, okay, I've got 10 meg broadband now, which is quite fast. But it still takes a while to download these damn flash sites and all this business. Whereas with a site such as mine, you click on it, bang, it's there. So thank you very much for your suggestions there. As always, Scotty, don't stop writing to me, please. But I will turn you down on your kind offer because it's something else to do. Let's say I had another email here from Scott, who's he had a bit of a stressful day the other day. He was trying to finish off a project and keep to a deadline, only to be under a tornado watch. Oh, that's scary. Most of the morning, so I had to power down all of my computers. Have you ever been in a tornado? Or does anyone survive being in a tornado? Oh, hang on, I'm getting confused there. Hurricanes. People survive in hurricanes, don't they? Does anyone ever survive in a tornado? Would it just suck everything up and that's the end of it? Ooh, scary. He says, isn't life fun in Georgia? Not that we get tornadoes that often, only during the hurricane season, when they can spin off tornadoes as bad weathers travel through. Yes, awful. I'm glad we don't have those here. We had a bit of a storm a couple of weeks ago. Well, I say a storm. I mean, it wasn't an awful, it was just a little bit of a wind and rain, that's all. Oh, they go mad in this country. Now, I did promise you that I would read Mark's email again, because we didn't get to the end of it. Now, Mark was the lad who emailed in and mentioned that there were words to bewitched. Do you remember? And we couldn't get the words to match to the music. And he wrote a couple of weeks ago, I'm reading this again because we didn't get to the end of the email. Goodness, it seems that mean old Endora, she of course was what's her name? I forgot the witch's name now. She was the young witch's mother, of course. That mean old Endora has cast a spell upon this bewitched thing in an evil attempt to make it unsingable, and it's true. I went to check out the theme tune, and lo and behold, I found that by using her evil black magic, she truncated the music at the critical point you ran into. Dare I say, what a cheek. Yes, it is a cheek, dear. But it's true, the music used in the show's opening was cut to fit for time and doesn't leave room for the last few lines of the lyrics. In fact, if you listen to it carefully, the edit is quite noticeable, jump cut between where Under Lock and Key and the final bewitched are supposed to go. Yes, I mean, it is pretty obvious. There's another one like that, British TV programme, Dad's Army. Have you ever seen the British TV programme Dad's Army? The theme tune for that, Who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler? That has got a very bad join near the end. If you ever get a chance to watch it, watch Dad's Army. The beginning opening sequence, where they have little Union Jacks as triangles flying up, you know, and German arrows coming towards us. Have a look and a listen to the theme music to Dad's Army, and that too has got a very bad join at the end. Right. I do actually have somewhere, I don't know where it is now actually, I do have the full version of the Dad's Army theme tune. I know the words. Who do you think you... Sing along, come on. Joy will know this. I bet you like Dad's Army, don't you, Joy and Acton? Aye. Who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler, if you think old England's done? We are the boys who will stop your little game. We are the boys who will make you think again. So who do you think you are kidding? That's where the join is. It goes, so, if you'll notice that, so who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler? If you think old England's done, da, 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 Mr. Brown comes on, and it goes on like that. Have a listen, have a listen. Mark says, so I figured in penance for sending this mess along with the first place, the least I could do was commit my own croaking rendition to audio. But don't say I didn't warn you. I won't be getting invited to the Grammys anytime soon. And that's from Mark. Now, I don't... do you know, foolishly, Mark, I should have had that lined up and ready, really. Have I got it on here? 1 second. Let me see if I've still got it. You singing the theme. Let me just fire this up again. I know we did play it a little while ago. I'm not quite sure if it's going to be still here, Mark. We might have a little listen once again to your vocal talent, shall we? Eh? Now, if I put it alphabetically, we'll probably find out Mark. Oh, Mark, is that you there? No. Oh, no, I think it's gone, Mark. Oh, I'm sorry, I've deleted you. Not completely, don't worry. Do feel free to write in any time, but yeah, we've deleted the song. But thanks for that. All right, Mark. Now, hello to Stuart. Recently, we had an email in and a couple of comments from other people about Scottish independence, which came up basically because someone brought it up. A little bit too serious for this show, but we did mention it, so we've had some response. And Stuart says, hi, Chris. I'm an avid fan of yours and your shows. Haven't you got anything better to do, dear? Please, we can't have avid fans, dear. Just put it on in the background while you're doing something else. There's nothing worth listening to on here, believe me. And Stuart says, I'm responding to the... this is Stuart's words, not mine. I'm responding to the stupid topic brought up by the patriotic Scotsman Robert about the independence of Scotland. Stuart says, I am 100% Scottish myself, born and brought up in Glasgow, and to be honest, am embarrassed a lot of the time to be Scottish. I don't know why that is. I think you've got a lovely country up there. I've been lucky enough to go a couple of times. Stuart says, it's attitudes like Robert living in the past when William Wallace and Robert the Bruce were running about which caused so much grief. So what... It's history and it's in the past and where attitudes and the like, Robert should stay. Now, I agree. I agree. We bring up the past so much. I mean, if we lived in the past, then we shouldn't be in Europe. How many of us hate the Germans because of the war that happened years and years ago? We don't, do we? Or at least I hope not. How long do you want to hold a grudge for? Although I say that I'm quite good at holding a grudge. There's a couple of people that I never want to speak to again. But as for countries, you know, it's... to class a whole country on just a few people. Let's think of the news at the moment. Certain religions, the extremists. Do you believe all people in that religion are going around blowing people up? No. It's not true, is it? And I see what you're saying here, Stuart. It is way, way back in history. Isn't it? Stuart also says, the only culture we have here is kilts, bagpipes, haggis and tablet. What is tablet? I don't know what that is, tablet. The football teams are rubbish and the fans cause grief by living in the past again. Oof. Talking about your own country here, Stuart. Come on, you've got to be a bit more patriotic. I'm sticking up more for Scotland than you are, dear. I think Scotland is independent as much as we need it to be. What good would it be to be separate? I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree. I think we need to face facts. Scotland will never be separate, and even Alex Salmond doesn't want it to be 100% independent. Anyway, enough rambling and keep up the good work. Don't miss a show. Love it. Know what you mean about going to Oz. I'm going to emigrate in a few years and we'll see about getting you across as well. The UK would miss you. Keep smiling from Stuart. Well, maybe it wouldn't. But yes, I make no secret of the fact at all, Stuart, that I would love to live and work in Australia, possibly doing something like this. And yeah, it could also be true that by keep mentioning it on the show, I kind of hope someone might notice it and then I might get a phone call. Well, you never know. That's how these sort of things happen, isn't it? But Scotland, I love Scotland. I've been up there a couple of times. My cousin lives up there. He's got a lovely house and he married a Scottish lass up there. She's lovely. They've got the 3 children. I think it's a beautiful country, especially the Highlands. Beautiful. I think my ideal house would be, my ideal home. Well, I mean, I very much love the house I'm in now. I don't think I'll ever move from here. But my ideal place to live would be in the middle of somewhere like the Heathlet, like the Grampian regions of Scotland. Now, you say that, I mean, a bit cold, yes. But do you see what I mean? All the wilderness and the wildness. A bit like, actually, in Australia, that's a little bit like Queensland there. But without all the without the spiders and snakes and things. But it's a beautiful country, Scotland. Beautiful country. Stuart also said in a follow-up email, I am addicted to your shows. Sometimes I've been up to 4 o'clock watching them. What, in the morning, you mad fool? Can you tell me what equipment you use for your shows? I'm doing internet DJing and recently bought a mixer and mic and just wondered what your setup is like, as it's great. Hope you have your camera sorted. Yes, I think I might have sorted it with this new little Microsoft one. I'm very pleased with this. Also, your music intro is fab. Is it custom made or a band that released it as a record? Oh, the music to the show. Thank you, Stuart. I don't know. I'll be absolutely honest, I'm not sure where the music come from. You mean this, don't you? No, hang on. I'll play you the short version. Oh, hang on. Did you hear that? No. I've got a button down here. What have I done here? There it is, that one there. You mean this one? You mean that one, and of course the long version of it. Not sure where it's from. I've actually got quite a few little tunes and bits of pieces like that I've collected over the years. Even since I was a child, I used to have record bits and pieces off the telly or the radio or look around the internet indeed. And there's all sorts of little bits and pieces on there. So to be honest, I'm not sure where the music is from, but I've never passed it around to anyone. That particular tune, I've never actually heard it played anywhere else. So I don't pass it around or anything like that. Besides, it might be a copyright issue. It's like the same sort of thing as you're not allowed to send records and tracks to each other, like I don't know, like Madonna, like a prayer. If I sent you that, that's not allowed. Okay, so it may be that I'm not supposed to send music like that around as well, so I don't. Better be safe than sorry, isn't it? All right, Stuart, and as for the mixer and mic, I've sent you a personal email describing everything that I use here. For this particular show, there's nothing really... A lot of this stuff is reasonably old now, I have to say. Certainly the double CD player is over 10 years old. The amplifier behind me, that is an old Sony one, which is about 18 years old. Yes, you see, I've said to you before about the Sony stuff, hasn't it? I've got quite a lot of stuff, and it never seems to let me down. The mixer, that's about 5 years old. All the stuff is reasonably... I think the newest thing in here is the little webcam, which wasn't... But there's nothing in here sort of worth loads of money, I suppose, or anything like that. Even I've got a mirror ball up there, which you don't see, really, do you? You never see the mirror ball. There we are. There's a little mirror ball and a clock behind me with various pictures here in the mirror ball studio. And even the mirror, believe it or not, a mirror ball. A lot of people go to these clubs and what have you, and think the mirror ball is a very expensive item. Not at all. You can probably pick up a mirror ball and 2 lights for about 50 quid, £50, $100, something like that. So if you want to sparkle up your room or anything like that, grab a mirror ball. It'll only cost you 50 quid, all right? Now, hello to Wayne. Wayne, our friend Anonymous, who says, hello Chris, sorry about the mix-up earlier on locating this device, which was the razor sharpener. Do you remember that? Eh? He said if you Google Save a Blade, you'll find the website. There are also 2 listings on eBay for these. I'm going to have a look at that, Wayne. Wayne, also known as Anonymous, sent me an email a while ago because I was moaning. Well, not that I'm one to moan, usually, as you know. I mean, I'm always happy at everything, especially salesmen and purchasing things and spending money. I love it. I love it all, right? He says, if you Google, but I was complaining about the price of razor blades, which are hideously expensive. I don't know how they get away with it half the time. I was moaning, why is it so dear? And also, I don't know if you've noticed, boys, but we seem to be getting more and more blades on one unit, don't we? I think we're up to... Are we up to 5 blades now? You know, the razors that you buy, Gillette do a 5... I'm sure they do it, or it might be a 4. 4 or 5 blades now. And it just goes on, dear. How many blades do we want? Surely they won't bring out any more than 5. But I was complaining about the price of them because they're hideously expensive. I think it's about £10 for 8 blades now, isn't it? Those Gillette... what's the ones I use? The MX... Hang on, I'll go and get it. Let me go and get it. Stay there a second. Have one of these while I'm just popping. I'm going to have to be quick. You ready? I'm just going to pop to the bathroom quickly.
From the Mirrorball studio in Royal Berkshire. This is Chris Reardon.
I'm back. I've got this... there it is. It's an electric... Oh, my God, that's filthy. I wish I hadn't brought that in now. I'll try and show it so you can't see the dirt, actually. Oh, dear. It's an M3 power razor. That really is quite dirty. I'm going to have to clean that now. M3 power razor. And it's electric. I say it's electric. Battery operated. There it is. It's like a green colour. But listen. Can you hear that? And it vibrates as you kind of do that. Now this one is... Let's have a look. I think this is 3 blades on this one. But nevertheless, it's almost £10 for 8 blades. And I was moaning about it the other day, you know, as I do occasionally. And Wayne suggested a site called Save a Blade. You'll find the website, and this is a way of actually sharpening. He reckons you can sharpen your own razor blade. So I will have a look later. He said there are also 2 listings on eBay, so I will have a look at that, all right? I also brought up the subject of perhaps I should have a backdrop behind me, some sort of backdrop, and I suggested black. He says, please do not use a dark colour. Try something fun that will complement your personality. Poisonality. Poisonality? What do you mean, poisonality? What a cheek, dear. I don't go around upsetting people, do I? Well, actually, I did. Now, just before I continue with that, I have to say that I don't make this programme to upset people. This is like thoughts and things like that. Also, with the forums and comments to YouTube and things like that, I often don't... Well, I very rarely come back. The idea of the forum is that you have a voice, okay? So anything you want to bring up, you can go on there and chat to all the other people that are part of United Kingdom Talk, our happy family together. And sometimes we agree on things, sometimes we don't. But it doesn't matter, because we're all one family and we all stay together. And a lot of people are on the forums. And you can find those by going to unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. And there, on any of the more recent shows, you'll see a direct link to the forums. Now, similarly, those people that watch this on YouTube can put comments under any of the shows that they choose to do so. All right? Now, I am one for free speech. If you don't agree with anything or hate something that I've done or said, fine. You can put that as a comment on there and I won't remove it. The only time I might remove something, if it's something really nasty, like... I think you know the sort of thing. If there's something nasty or a swear word or someone's advertising porn or something like that, I will remove it. If it's just something that you don't agree with or something that I've said that you might not like, then I will leave it on there. Now, it doesn't really happen very often. And if you do put stuff on there, I probably won't respond because that's your kind of right of reply sort of thing. As I say, I believe in free speech. You know, if you want to say something, put it on there. I won't remove it. If you don't agree with something, fine, that's okay. But that's how you can come back. But just have a little look at the show dated Thursday the 4th. Thursday the 4th of... Was it... No, hang on a minute. Tuesday the 4th of March. A lot of people on there commenting on that show. So you might, if you didn't hear or see that show, you might want to have a little look or a little watch of it again and then add your own comments, all right? Just a little suggestion there for you to all join in the fun here at United Kingdom Talk. It gets more and more fun, doesn't it, eh? Oh, doesn't it? Oh, please yourselves. Let me see. Wayne says, if you could find... We're talking about the backdrop now. We were thinking about having a backdrop behind me here. If you could find a... where is it? Please do not use a dark colour, he says. Try something fun that will complement your poisonality. If you could find a sheet with Where's Waldo prints or Thomas the Tank Engine, dear. I can see you rummaging around for children's bedding on sale day now. Well, no, actually, I could just go into my bedroom and collect my Thomas the Tank Engine sheets and duvet cover. I don't need to go buying these things. I've got them all in there. I've got Thomas the Tank Engine, I've got the Tweenies, I've got Teletubbies, all different bedding, and it's in there at the moment. Okay? I could just hang them up behind me like that. What do you reckon? Or, what we could do is get a nice big backdrop of lots of Union Jacks. Or something like that. Someone says, why don't you use the... someone recently said to me in the pub, actually, why don't you use the England flag? Well, because, as I said on a previous show, when we had this Scottish... when we had... what was his name? Was it Robert? 1 minute, what was his name now? Robert? Yeah, Robert. When Robert was saying he's actually offended by the Union flag, to me, the Union flag is the Union, all of us together, one happy family. So that's why I have that up rather than the flag of England. I do feel I'm part of the United Kingdom, Great Britain, more than I am of England, although, of course, we're in both. Europe, I could put the European flag up. I'm sorry, I don't feel European. I never have done. I like our own British identity. And I'm sure, although the politicians will not say this, I'm sure you will find that the French like their French identity. The Italians like their Italian identity. The Germans, the Spanish, the Portuguese, everyone likes their own identity. I prefer to be known as British or English, but not European. It's too big a pot. We like to keep our own identity. Although the politicians don't say that. Oh, no, we're all European. I don't believe it. I think most people want to keep their own identity. It is nice to all get together in different places. I don't know, parties, pubs, song festivals, whatever. It's lovely. All get together, sharing. But we still want to keep that little bit of our own identity. Not so that we can go wars and things like that. We just like... It's just nice, isn't it? See what you think. Any suggestions on that? Use your email address, okay? chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Let's see. Chris moves in for the snap. What's that? Chris moves in for the snaffle. And oh my, an 80-something-year-old granny stopped Chris cold with the tip of her boot sale umbrella. What are you going on about here? Hey, see, you've lost me with this. Oh, I've got it. Chris has spotted a Waldo sheet set marked down to £3. Chris moves in for the snaffle. And oh my, an 80-something-year-old granny stopped Chris cold with the tip of her boot sale umbrella. I knew that portable recorder would come in handy, but for YouTube viewers, you will have to acquire a camcorder that records onto DVD. Oh, no, something else to learn to use. I don't. The expense. Speaking of recordings, the Bracknell Traffic Safety Committee will be using the video from the roundabout camera in their spring release, How Not to Ride a Bicycle. As a, you know, I told you I fell off my bike the other week, didn't I? I scratched all the side of my hand up and all. Dear me. As the CB radio operators here in the States say, keep your shiny side up. That would be your bald spot. Oh, thanks a lot. Thanks for mentioning the bald spot once again. Oh, you didn't have know how to stick the knife in and twist it, didn't you, eh? Thank you very much. Are CB radios still big in the States? Are they? I used to have one here. Yeah. When I lived in Roehampton, just before I got married, my handle was Matchbox. Matchbox, that was it. That was my handle. CB radios. Anyone in the UK watching this or listening to this use a CB radio? Is it still sort of quite popular here in the UK? Let us know if you do. It's Chris at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Chris at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Ben, here in Bracknell, writes, I had to give cat pills before and I've been scratched to pieces. Yes. I had to give one of my cat's pills recently, and she was as good as gold, but I gather most people don't have that same experience. We're nearly out of time today. I did have some more emails here from a man in Iceland, and indeed Sam Lupton. We'll have to hold on to those before the next show. The email address is Chris at United Kingdom Talk, or Gemma as well in Spain. We'll read that on the next show, okay? Chris at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk is the email address. Chris at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. One more piece of information for you today. Do you remember Tracy? You know Tracy, my niece. Well, her boyfriend Ben, known now as Brain Dead Ben, has been putting a shelf up. She got home, the shelf wasn't up. She said, why isn't it up? He said, I dropped the nut down the sink. It's hopeless, Ben, isn't it? I'll see you on the next show. Thanks for watching. From myself, Chris Reardon. Bye-bye now.